Shout out to my man Bryce. We got to get him a microphone. All right.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Episode 2. We did it. We survived Chad. That's pretty impressive, in my opinion.
Facts.
I was scared. I was trembling.
That's a compliment. It's a compliment, Chad. And I know you're watching this. Chad Daniel Stott. See, I'm putting respect on the name here.
Oh, yeah. CDS. Come on now.
Phenomenal.
King CDS.
Phenomenal episode.
He's worth 50 episodes worth of effort. Like, you have to get 50 episodes to get him back.
50 and 100.
Yeah, and 100.
He signed himself up ready, pre-registered.
Yeah, we don't have any choice. He's Chad now. And then here's the thing. If we don't bring Chad back, then we're screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
we're
like,
screwed. There's,
what happened?
yeah,
and then, the worship's going to go crazy.
You're done.
And then one of us is going to mysteriously disappear. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but
all
I'm a little
I can
afraid.
say, though, is Spitfire was fantastic. And it was a great addition to our worship set.
That's exactly what we knew it would be.
We knew God's going to do his thing every single time. But here's the thing. I really quick want to do a quick plug. Rush Conference is right around the corner.
Oh
guys.
my gosh, the merch looks so amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, the hat,
phenomenal merch. The hats can look sick.
It will.
ASMR Rush Conference edition. Here's the thing, though. Rush Conference, you sign up for it, guys. It's gonna be a great experience. We get it. It takes a few dollar bills to get to summer camp conference. We get that. Reach out to us. Talk to us.
But it's how much is it to start off?
It's $199. It flat rate now.
Flat rate, $199.
$199.
But $25, and you'll secure your spot. It's pretty easy money.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
25.
And
it's a whole vacation for, you know what I mean? Like,
that's like 3 Starbucks
a good
drinks,
deal,
bro.
Yeah, facts.
Do you guys even drink Starbucks? But anyway, do you guys even...
Durango Joe's, bro.
Addict.
Durango Joe's, if you're watching this, you should sponsor us. I would gladly love to have a kid's fun Frappuccino.
Oh, yeah.
Cotton candy instead of
cotton candy.
generic soda.
But here's the
in my
thing.
hand.
We're going to have all that stuff for sale at Rush Conference. We're going to have all those things and more. We're just going to... The speakers... just the worship experience, being able to go to Durango, stay in really nice lodges, and just have a great time mountain biking, horseback riding, white water rafting, things we've never done before.
Fishing with Chad.
With Chad. What
with
an
Chad.
Experience. That's an epic journey.
I can't wait.
Fishing with Chad. But, man, we're excited. We're excited because my two hosts here that I have with me are the host of the Hills Youth Podcast, and we have our producer, Bryce, for this episode, which we're excited about. And we got, again, Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke, the Yapper, is back with us.
The Yapper.
He's here.
Me.
And then we got Graham, Lewis and Clark, McWilliams. But it's not Lewis and Clark. It's C.S. Lewis. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Okay, I'm just going to keep on using that till I find something new. I'm just being real.
You should find a different one for every episode.
I should, but that's too late now, folks.
Yeah. Okay, so episode 3 is like some other, like, Zeke the past instead of future. You know what I mean? Like we just get, you know what I'm saying?
New episode, new me.
All right, dude, I'll work on it. It's episode 2. We'll get better. Stay tuned for episode 3. But here's the thing. We have 2 people and that are engaging with you. You're probably between the ages of what? Probably we get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is kind of our core range for our youth ministry. 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds with them watching their parents. What is going on right now, dude?
Like I would honestly, if we had a podcast this good when I was like in the womb, I'd watch it.
Please, if your parents are watching, please don't send your 1-year-old to youth. Like, I'm begging you, as somebody who volunteers and who has to run groups, like, I can't figure that out. So I'm like, 6th grade, man, that'd be phenomenal. I'd love to see your 6th grader there. Please don't send your 1 or 2-year-old. That would be a problem.
We're jumping back to where we're at. 1-year-olds watching the pod. But what is one of your guys' biggest challenges that you've ever gone through that you would love to share on the pod right now? I would say one of the biggest challenges for me I talked about at the beginning of this year, is getting in an ice bath consistently. Cold water. I actually went to the hot springs the other day, and we did the cold plunge. And, man, I was sitting in that mug. I was bawling out, and there are people going, how are you doing that? It just took a lot of reps to get there. But facing that first ice bath, oh, my gosh.
I want to go to the hot springs.
Oh, my gosh.
It looks so fun.
You never been in the hot springs, bro?
No.
It's fun.
I also don't have a life.
Well, is that a challenge?
We know this.
Is that
we know.
your
You didn't have
challenge?
to say it. You didn't have to say it, Mr. Yapper.
But what's a challenge for you, Mr. Graham Lewis McWilliams?
You know, so unlike Vaughn, it's not a struggle for me to get in the ice bath. I actually would break through the ice to get in my pond over December and January.
He's a Viking. He just has to break through ice.
I was basically a wild man. I was basically Chad for that, and he won't join me. It is messed up, Vaughn. It is messed up. You won't. We should do an episode at one point in the pond. Do an ice bath pod. Tell me that wouldn't be tough.
Ice bath pod.
Tell me it wouldn't be tough.
Let's get the road mics.
Kevin Hart's people would probably sue us because it's cold as I'll get out.
Well, let's
the podcast with Kevin.
Kevin's showing up to Albuquerque. Let's go talk to him.
We're gonna
do some convincing. You know what I mean?
We're gonna go share Jesus with Kevin Hart. That's
and if not, share a hospital bill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just in case. Bro.
Hospital bill.
Let's get Kevin Hart on the pod. Why not? Why not?
But Graham,
it's that dirty Q.
Or
you know
Zeke
what I'm saying?
the Yapper. What is a challenge that you guys have faced that you've accomplished, and you'd be like on the other side of it, going, "I can't believe I just did that." Because as you're thinking, like challenges, you don't really get started because it's literally the name. It's a challenge. You don't want to get started because you know that there's a negative connotation of I'm probably not going to ever finish it.
Yeah.
And we did at the very beginning of the year. I really pushed this segment of we write these things, and this may help with maybe what we're kind of going with is. You start the year with going, I want to memorize more scripture. I want to have more empathy for others. I want to go to God, not earthly things. I want to be consistent in my Bible reading. I don't want to be lazy. I want to be getting better grades in school. But those are all challenges, and there's a reason why people don't finish them because they're hard. Mm-hmm. And so for me, the ice bath, like you're going to get in that, it mentally transformed my whole thing. And so for me, like facing challenges, I thrive with. I don't know if that's anybody watching the podcast right now, but I love a good challenge. Like, do you guys play competitive board games like Monopoly?
My family will not play Monopoly because of the incident. My mother, dude, she comes straight from a very competitive household. And so my dad, he's incredibly competitive when it matters, but for games, for fun, he's not he's not going to flip out if he loses or something like that, right? Boy, my mother, I love you, Mom, because I know you're probably watching this.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, hopefully I'm not gonna because I'm about to dive in, man. I haven't played Monopoly since I was like 9 years old because me, my 6-year-old sister, and my father all murdered. You know what I mean? Like this was ridiculous.
Disclaimer:
right?
This is a board game we're talking about.
We're talking about yes. Let's not get this AI clip. You know what I mean? And so we get competitive. It gets heated. We were playing on like the iPad because it's hard to set up the board game. Flipped the iPad, walked out of the room, and has never played Monopoly since. Yeah. So that's the household she was kind of raised in, and so. Me, my dad, and my sister just had to laugh and keep playing, and then I eventually won because I'm me.
Monopoly is a very aggressive game, causes family problems long term. I even got the mobile app during COVID.
Oh, same.
Bought
I have
that
it. It's
mobile app.
awesome.
My sister bought.
I was
the
so
boards.
addicted to it a few weeks ago. I was just.
This is recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your challenge an addiction that you need to get past playing video games on
I
your
need
phone?
to overcome Monopoly. I don't play games on my phone really.
Oh, liar, dude! You're a liar.
No, I don't.
Show us
I'm
your phone right
serious.
now. What games do you have downloaded on your phone right now?
My phone's right
It's
there,
charging.
but
Of course it
yeah.
is. Of course it is.
Frick you.
What are
I
the-
do have Warzone downloaded though. I haven't played it though.
What is that one game I'm always hooked on? Warzone is legit. Fortnite is legit. The esports gaming that we have with our youth ministry, even jumped on that. Go follow it on Twitch. Gaming's a big thing.
Yeah.
Dude, that could check this out. Okay, so if your desire to get through a level in a game, okay, you can get stuck on that level like until you finish it. You guys never really played on the SP, did you? Did you guys have an SP? Is that like way before your time?
It is ancient technology.
So, but you play Mario on it. You get past a level where, like, man, it was like these flaming, rotating deals, and there was a level where it was just almost like you could not get past it. You would jump too low, too high. You'd hit the bricks above you, and you were determined to get it done. You would stay up late, like challenge accepted.
Yeah, man. We had the Wii U when I was growing up. That was the game. I didn't get an Xbox till I was 12 probably, but we had the Wii U for a long time. We had the Wii and then the Wii U. And Super Mario 3D World, I don't know how many hours I've devoted to this game, and I would stay up. I remember pulling, like, my first all-nighter I think I ever pulled was probably at 9 years old on the Wii U. You know, has a little touchscreen, trying to figure out, right?
All-nighters, dude.
All-nighters. My parents did not find out to this day.
There's a lot of things that he's sharing.
I am incredibly comfortable right now. No, but what was, it took an insane amount of mental concentration, focus. Audience, I just want you to know that Super Mario 3D World is the peak of humanity. We will never beat that game. You understand? Like, we'll never top it. This is the Mona Lisa. This is the Eiffel Tower. This is the Bass Pro Shops pyramid. Like, this is
the Bass Pro Shops pyramid.
I miss the Wii.
Wait, is there a better pyramid out there?
What's a pyramid? What do you mean by the ultimate, like, a Bass Pro Shops franchise? You mean?
Well, have you not seen the Bass Pro Shops pyramid in Memphis?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put this on the screen, but hold up.
The Bass Pro Shop pyramid.
I think it's like a big, like, it's a black pyramid, and it's like the top's like, I think, glass, right?
I've never seen this, but
this is the 6th largest pyramid in the world, by the way. And this entire thing is a Bass Pro Shops.
So is that pre-built for that, or did they borrow a building in Memphis?
What happened was they built this big, sports arena. I've read a lot about this, and for some reason, because I'm a nerd, they built this big pyramid for, like, events and basketball games that had everything in there, and it costed several $1 million more than it was expected to.
Were there people mummified in there?
There were not people mummified in there. That's
and what's
Egypt.
the point in the pyramid?
Wrap my head around this, Graham. 6th largest pyramid in the world. It's Bass Pro Shops.
Bass Pro Shops. Out of anything.
I am so happy to be the one sharing you this Bass Pro Shop, because it is truly better than anything in Egypt.
So this game, what is it? Super Mario World?
Super Mario 3D World.
Super Mario 3D World is the 6th largest pyramid of the world, technically.
It's better. It's better.
Better
than.
Zeke, you were saying the Wii, like you were like...
Wii boxing, I loved it.
Oh, facts. Wii Sports. Skiing, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the golf, too.
And the balance board, it was always telling me I was obese. I was like
Guitar
8.
Hero, I'd be like, no.
Oh, dude, through the fire and flames on Guitar Hero. This is... Man, you played Guitar Hero?
Check out the shirt.
Nirvana. Yeah, I see that,
That's my
man.
favorite clothing band.
Name one song by Nirvana.
Something
in the way.
The most popular song.
Batman. Okay, whatever. So
Bleach album is the best.
we're getting into culture here a little bit, and what I want to turn this one into is the state of kind of mental health amongst your generation, amongst my generation, things that help it. Going back to the challenges we face, for me, I flipped the challenge on its back and made it something that would benefit me mentally, physically, and spiritually, the ice bath, which has also benefited me in my running. Running is kind of like an escape for me mentally to kind of get clarity. Like I need clarity outside of work and even being a husband and a friend and all those things. I need to get my mind right. For a lot of people, it's working out. A lot of people, it's certain hobbies, right? So for me, the ice bath really puts me in that, but I need to be consistent. Consistency is key in this whole thing. Consistency to play a Wii U game, right? Like to beat a level where it's like, man, this is large. But once you get past it, man, like I'll replay the game and beat it 100 times. But I get in the ice bath now. I can get in at any ice bath. Hot Springs, the one in my garage, or the pond. I need to go do it. Accountability. But
that would be so fun.
20 minutes, bro.
Do it.
20 minutes.
Dude.
But to me, that's like, I don't know. It's colder, right?
Yeah.
And that's a challenge. Like, it's colder. It's different. It varies.
It might not be colder now, just because it's
warming up.
Yeah, exactly. So I would guess it's like 40 something now.
That's when I'll go.
Yeah. You should do it, bro.
That's
That
when
would
I'll
do it
go.
this
so
week.
Cool.
So we have to we had to be able to face something to get through it. I personally feel that, and that's a challenge that we should face. And I want to see this with the mental health, and I'm bringing it back to faith, okay? And I have a quote here. It says 46% of Christian U.S. teens say they never read the Bible. They never read the Bible. Global youth culture, and there's a huge epidemic of mental health crisis happening right in our own community, and 46% of Christian teens say they never read the Bible. And this is big even with Christians that say they're Christian. They could read the Bible. They could get peace. They could get hope. Why do you even think even amongst Christian teens that number could be so drastically high?
I think a lot of it is they don't quite understand how it's relevant. Like, I see a lot of content. I'm like, the Bible, it was written 2,000 years ago, at least. The New Testament, it's not relevant to my life in 2024. It's not, and so I see that a lot, and I can see how fundamentally flawed that is, because that is the most relevant book. I read a lot. Like, I don't read as much as some, but I read a lot of books. I read a lot of nonfiction, and I've never read anything that's more relevant to my life. Ecclesiastes, man, has completely changed the way I look at life and the way I look at mental health. That is one of my favorite books in the Bible, period. Psalms, man, has helped me through my lows and my highs, making sure my eyes are focused on the right thing. Like, all of these, Proverbs. It's incredibly relevant. Yeah,
I love Proverbs.
Yeah, Proverbs is great. Man, keep your wisdom, make the right decisions. That's important. But the point being, this is the most relevant document in history, because beyond all that and all this great advice and all this stuff that will change your life by reading it, the biggest thing is the gospel. And that's the good news, right? And so if you're a Christian, but you don't fully understand Christ, you don't understand why he was here, you don't understand that he cares about you, that he loves you, man, of course you're going to have mental health issues. Of course you are. You know what I mean? And so that is what's most relevant, is God has come for you to save you, and people don't know that.
And that's where I kind of want to title this one. This is the pod where we talk about binging the gap.
Yeah.
And then this is all about, like, what are we binging? What are we consuming? What thought process? And I think of my son Zion in the backyard. We have a little brick wall, and it's a little 2-footer. Eden will just run up. My daughter Eden will just run up to the brick wall, and she'll know that it drops, but she'll go and she'll jump, she'll land, and keep going. My son Zion sees her. He'll run up to the brick. He'll stop. He'll look. He'll back up. Be like, my sister just did it, but I personally can't. He got up on the windowsill in our kitchen, and he gets on it, but he freaks out, and he just starts screaming, I can't get down. But he just saw his sister do it, and he mentally is telling himself, I can't. That's his words. How dangerous is I can't, Zeke? And I'm talking that could be a negative thing to say. Like, it's good to say I can't do something. That's healthy, yes. But, like, when you tell yourself you can't push through, when you can't get in the word and grow, like, what does I can't do to you? What has that done to you in your walk?
Well, I feel like, especially with, like, faith and doing, like, Bible plans and stuff, you have to learn how to endure things and go through the hard times. And, like, I'd say one really good one was in Chad's group, we were reading Proverbs. And we were supposed to read it every single day, and it was like a month long. But there were points where I'd have a very long day because I work all the time. I'm helping the youth out, a lot of stuff. So I come home pretty late, about 9 or 10, but I'll be tired because of school and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to read the Bible. I'm tired. I'll just do it the next day. But I've had a bunch of support from, like, everybody support each other. They were like, hey, you skipped a day. Hey, get on it. And we got to the point where everybody would call each other out if we didn't do the plan and wasn't consistent in it. And I think accountability is one thing too. Like, if you know that you're struggling, find a friend and be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Hey, it's hard to keep me, like, motivated and staying in the word. And I'd say, yeah, so accountability.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So for the people out there that don't have somebody that they feel comfortable
there
with,
it is.
Because I'm like that. I have very few people, and I'm finally starting to find the people that I'm like, all right, I can trust. You know what I mean? But for the people who don't have that, who haven't found that yet, like, where do you go to as somebody from a distrustful background asking, like, what do you do there?
distrustful. And I understand that too, because there's a lot of things, like a lot of stuff that I've been through, and I've never trusted anybody with these problems. And I need to overcome it, and I know I need to, and I've known that I need to.
Yeah.
Everybody tells me, hey, you need to find someone to talk to. I just say the church, just find somebody that you don't know, like find someone that's like somebody in the church that's like older and that, is just a good, like, just has their life in the right direction. But if they spread the word, like, it won't affect you because you don't know them, you don't know who they know, like something like that. Someone.
Yeah, dude. And I wanted to kind of break that down even further, is to paint that picture of find your person.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid to ask. Listen, we have the like huge blessing of having Hills Youth in any youth ministry in America has a really solid youth ministry focused on Jesus and fired up. What I want to say is there's going to be great leaders that are there, and don't be afraid to go ask them, like, hey, would you mind like meeting with me once a month? Would you mind texting me some things, some books? What I learned is I went on Instagram and I literally, you also have the one, if you're not going to a youth group, use social media. There's no excuse not to get poured into, and just message anybody. I message so many people that are in my realm of influence that have been doing it or were the same age, but they're crushing it. I ask them, what are you reading? Like, I look at who they're following, because I'm like, obviously there's something that they're seeing that I don't. I want to get into that. And you have the perfect opportunity to talk to somebody at youth and go to social media.
And our church... Oh,
no, go for it.
Okay. Our church has a mentorship program. We started it not too long ago. But
what a plug.
It's where everybody like connects. Like, you just get into the program and then they'll connect you with somebody.
Yeah, and if you're at Hills, absolutely take advantage of that. It's a phenomenal program.
100%.
Wow.
So, okay, but all right, I'm gonna tie this into a personal thing for me, man. Vaughn has been, for me personally, been that person I've kind of gone to and been able to like trust with certain issues. Vaughn is Himothy, right?
That guy.
But
AI.
Himothy.
Where you
AI,
at?
clip it, please.
But here's the thing, though. Like I know that Zeke's lonely and he doesn't have anybody in his life, and so that's hard for him.
I have no life.
No, I'm just playing. But no, I know a lot of people.
You're doing an example.
I know a lot of people though have for issues in their life. In my example, I was going through a rough patch with the breakup, and Chad was able to like pull me aside and was like, okay, Graham, I want you to do certain things. What did you see in this girl? What was good about her and what was bad about her? And man, he sat with me. He came back the next week. I had this list, and he sat with me for 30 minutes, man. I was able to. So if you're at Hills Youth, man, Chad's the go-to.
He's good at relationship advice.
He's phenomenal.
The best, I would say. Besides Vaughn, I don't know about Vaughn.
Vaughn's not good with relationship advice.
He's bad at it. His relationship is hanging on a thread right now. All jokes. Sorry,
as far as I'm aware, I might be just accidentally speaking the truth. We have no insider information, guys. And I swear. But it'd be funny if we were right.
Me and my wife are in love. And this sounds sarcastic. We are. Guys,
we're in love, guys.
My
we're in
marriage
love.
is great.
Sounds like you're trying to convince yourself that.
No. It's all in his head.
No, I'm just playing. But
all jokes.
That thing. It's so important to have those connections. And as somebody who's a very deeply distrusting person by nature, eventually you'll find those people. You got to find them, because there are people who don't want to hurt you, and they will pour into you if you present yourself.
And there's a pocket of people too that are the fixers, and they feel as if they have to fix everything. And that there's Chad, but there's also our amazing girl leaders, the consistency that you guys do as that our volunteers do in general is like they're consistent. They show up every Wednesday, every Sunday, every Rush conference, every United. Like the cool thing is youth have an opportunity to plug in. And here's what I'm catching on fire this year is that we make so many excuses, and we try to find good excuses to cover them up. And we binge more to make a really good excuse to not do something knowing on the other end this could be good for me, but for right now this doesn't fit my schedule. Right now, this isn't gonna work. I'm God later. Like, no, why? Like, and I'm gonna be that guy. I was always like irritated with pastors that would say that, but they'd be like, you just need to understand the situation. Like, did Jesus not die on the cross for you? Did the gospel not put himself on Jesus's back and fully say like this was written and it was from God and given to us to be able to read. And guess what? Many people lived out, when we read the Bible, they lived it out. And we have the really blessed opportunity to read and not really have to go like, you know what? I'm going to physically choose to not go against Jesus when I see him right in front of me. But we've seen the history, we've seen the facts, and we're still choosing not to dive into him.
Is a perfect God not good enough for you?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Like everything in my life is good except for when you need me to make a move. And there's this quote that says this, the Binge The Gap definition: the thing separating you from who you want to be is what you've been binging.
Yeah.
The thing separating you from who you want to be and where you're being called to go is what you've been binging. So what are we binging that's not growing you, pushing you, helping you strive? And are we letting friends and the certain friends we have, the certain the fear of talking to somebody, getting a mentor, are we binging those thoughts? Are we binging the negativity? Are we letting our mental health take over and just saying, I have mental problems, and that's okay? It's okay to not be okay, but there's also that step of go see a counselor, go seek help, seek out God in prayer.
It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay not okay.
Yeah.
You have to move, you have to make directions, you have to make progress. As somebody who has dealt with mental health issues that most people will never quite understand or experience, there is hope, there is progress, there is a future, and there are things you can do about it. I think it's incredibly selfish not to be depressed. That's not what I'm saying, because that happens. That is a thing. Right? It's not, you're selfish if you're depressed. No, you have problems, and that's okay. But it's selfish to not treat them because you think somehow that you're less of a man. You think that, you're relying on whatever the reason, whatever the excuse is to not seek resources that are available to you, then you are being selfish towards you and the ones you love, and especially God who made you for more.
Yeah.
And you know what that does is you fight against superficiality. Superficiality is the struggle of wanting to be attractive on the surface. At the end of the day, as Christians, even looking back at the percentage, even to the non-Christians, there's a superficiality to us where we want to look good to people. We want to look good in all of our circumstances, but we got to die to those things. Once you die to something, what does it mean to die to something? Like what does it mean to die to yourself? What does that mean to die to yourself when it comes to following Jesus?
Let go and let God. Just get rid of just trying to be perfect. Because nobody's perfect. Just be you. What I mean is not to put on like a filter over you, like just things that you stand by and stuff.
Yeah,
like putting
and
a
so
filter on and acting different to different people. Like that's more of what
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I think that you have to be dialed in.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you are being genuine, and you're genuinely trying to improve with everything you have, man. Mm-hmm. Because it's if you're hiding the sin, it just goes in the dark. And if you're broadcasting, oh look, you'll find me at these events, at these parties with these women, all these things, right? And you're okay with that, and just being you, well, that's also bad because then you're just living in sin, right? So you have to be yourself, but you also have to seek the one true perfect God, because we're not.
There's so many things that are consuming our minds daily that we're binging. Is this what everyone's doing? Is this the game that everyone's playing? Are these the shoes that everyone's wearing? We're in a culture where shoes are a really huge deal, and if you don't got the shoes, then you're like, man, I don't know if like it's the struggle because you can't get the shoes, right? Like you don't have it. So do you have what you're supposed to at this age?
Yeah.
Like what's going on? What's going on at school? What's the things that are driving people away from wanting to be who they're called to be? What are things that people are trying to do? Is it shoes? Is it the party? Is it Is it the mental health crisis really taking over our minds where we can't be ourselves anymore? Like, what is it that we're so afraid to get past? What is the thing?
I think it's a comfort thing. Like, I feel like people are too comfortable with the way they are, that any sort of change, even if it's positive, is a little scary. And you know, I know that I felt that in the past, is that, you know, I'm dealing with the disease, I'm dealing with stuff, but I don't really want to fix it because I know it. I know how to navigate. I mean, you know what I mean? And even though I see it affecting my family and those people that I love, I don't want to change. I don't want to get closer to God. I want to keep being me. I want to keep doing, you know, being a slave to mental illness, doing things I shouldn't do with a girl. I want to keep doing those things because those bring me some sort of comfort. But at the end of the day, they are meaningless. Everything's meaningless.
Let's talk about this. The 2 movies that were coming out at the same time was the most talked about thing for a time, Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
At one time that felt like, is this ever going to stop?
Yeah.
Eventually it did. Now no one's talking about it anymore.
I love Oppenheimer and I hate Barbie. I'm just going to put that out there. Can't stand that movie.
There's the review.
I agree.
We should start a movie podcast.
Bryce, was the Barbie or Oppenheimer? There's your review. What do you got?
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I thought the Barbie movie was really anti-man, so I didn't really like
Thumbs
it.
down. Okay.
He doesn't like Barbie.
Does not like Barbie.
I don't like no respect.
Very feministic.
No respect.
if that's a word.
No disrespect to Margot Robbie or Ryan Gosling, but I think they're both really good actors.
Bryce has a crush on Margot Robbie?
No,
Bryce has a crush on Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, he has a crush on Ryan Gosling.
Okay,
All right, but listen, for that time that everyone was talking about, like, we're binging literally the movies, if you went to the double feature, but the content on social media and everything was consuming us. And if you weren't talking about it, if you didn't wear pink to the Barbie movie.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
if you didn't, I went and saw a double feature, man. I went and sat there in Oppenheimer for 3+ hours. I walked out. I waited 15 minutes. A person I went to Barbie with showed up, and I watched Barbenheimer. I spent 6.5 hours at this theater.
Did you say Barbenheimer?
Did
you just naturally say that?
I just naturally said that,
See,
and that proves the point. It proves the point, man. But yeah, no. So it's 100%. It's like, you know, this is such a big thing, and everything seems geared towards it, man. I mean, we can also look at the PS5 prices, man. They used to be selling out, and you couldn't find them. You had to pay $800 retail, and now, you know, you can get PS5s at Target,
cheap,
at our Target, at
$500.
Farmington,
Cheap.
New Mexico's
I'm
Target,
kidding.
right? If you can give me a PlayStation 5 for $5, like, hook me up, bro. I'm gonna need that contact, G. But yeah, so that's. But you know, it's in culture comes and goes, right? Like that's a constant. Everything's gonna be moving.
Everything's moving, but everyone wants to be successful.
Right.
Everyone wants to do big things. But so why are we letting the one excuse of, like, I have a problem? And I don't mean to say excuse, but for me was, if I didn't get when I get anxiety, when I got really bad anxiety attacks, I got physical pains as if I'm getting a heart attack. Like, how many more hospital visits am I going to keep doing with EKGs and getting checked, being told I'm not having a heart attack, and realizing you got to understand that you're getting anxiety attacks because you're overstressed about work and you're overstressing about things that you want so bad to achieve. That's not the way it works. Like, why would the Lord bless something that I'm trying to ultimately, like, I'm working so hard to do it, but I started noticing I'm not surrendering it. I'm not going, God, I'm going to work hard, but your will be done in your timing.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when you let go.
Yeah.
Zeke is saying, when you let go, you're saying, I'm going to still grind. There's a side of us that we still need to do the work. There's a lot of church people that's like God's going to do his thing. No, what I truly believe is that God's going to work through any circumstance. We could choose to do something. God will maneuver and weave it. If I do something sinful, he's not going to bless me, but he's going to make good of that situation to make sure someone else sees him.
I mean, in all things, God works for the good of those who love him.
Yeah, it's not
according to his
like
purpose, right?
my sin, he's not going to highlight as good. What I'm saying in the circumstance,
Right.
he's not going to let me ruin it. Like, he's gonna go, all right,
yeah.
Vaughn dropped the ball, but I'm going to put something in the place to make sure that person or that situation gets what it was supposed to be doing, or even further. And God's going to do something. Like, God's going to work through everything we do. And listen, I could have went to school in Utah. I could have went to Utah State and continue my special education degree, but I chose to go to Odessa, Texas for a church internship.
Yeah.
God still would have blessed me in the path I took. but I'm in this one now.
Right. And I view, like, I hear a lot of people, man, you were giving a sermon about how God has a plan and God has a purpose and God is in everything. And I heard somebody's mom I knew I was sitting next to, and this girl whispered, God gave my mom cancer. And I hear stuff like that, and it's like, oh, boy, how do you answer that one? And I can, as somebody who has been affected by family members dying and affected personally by a disease, I can tell you that it isn't God causing all of these things, and maybe there's certain things but God works for the good in all things, right?
Yeah.
And so, for me, that my mental health struggles and all that stuff, God didn't, like, this person will have these, you know what I mean? But God sees that. He's taking that and taking those struggles for me, that pain that I went through, and now I have a perspective that, unlike nobody I've ever met, and I'm about to give a killer message in September about it, right?
Yeah.
Stay tuned, shameless plug. But
Let's go.
and so those things, man, is how God works, man. So God will find a way through the heartache, right? God will find a way. He has a plan. He has a purpose.
Yeah, it's gonna bring him glory. Like
Yeah.
that for that kid that says that did God give my mom cancer? No. Most likely not, because he won't cause us to sin. Like, he won't put anything on anybody that's gonna be like, I'm gonna cause them to stumble. Or no, the world has sickness, y'all. The world has cancer. The world has pain. The world has hurt. People are given cards due to their bodies and what they've consumed and done to their bodies. So people that get lung cancer because of smoking,
Right.
like
was their
they
fault.
could have stopped smoking. But
Let's not go there, Zeke.
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
though,
I'm
it's
saying, like, it's their fault. Like,
they decided to do
they
it,
were
right?
stuck with the addiction and they couldn't get out of it.
and then they
it-
say, God, why couldn't you get
it
me out of it? No,
affected them.
God's been available.
Right.
And so this whole wrap up thing with mental health is, there's a world full of issues and problems because we're trying to trace the attractiveness of success. But if we flip it on its head, there's a quote that I love here by Pastor Craig Rochelle of Life Church, and it reads this: successful people consistently do what other people do occasionally.
Yeah.
Successful people aren't perfect. Successful people aren't people that just have money and cars and the newest Nikes and the latest iPhone or the PlayStation 5. Successful people are doing, and they know the vision that God's put on their heart, and they're doing it with excellence, even if they get a cancer diagnosis. Even if they do have anxiety, but they're not letting it overcome them each day, they're surrendering that over to God. If I feel that anxiety coming, I'm going to take the tools and I'm going to be unashamed. And I'm going to humble myself and know that I got to go through my tactics of poking the pressure points on my body when I'm feeling the physical chest pain. I got to do those things because I'm not going to let it win.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it consume me, because I'm going to get in the ice bath and it brings me clarity. I'm going to go on that long run and it's going to bring me clarity, because I know it does, because I know that's where I'm wired, because I've tried and different hobbies and those things work for me. So when I choose not to run because I'm overwhelmed, I chose maybe to make it a rough night for me of not sleeping well because I didn't do the things that do assist me to do those
And
things.
I'd say if you had an issue, I'd say talk to somebody about it, of course. And I would say to create a plan. What am I going to do to overcome this?
Mm.
Am I just going to keep on doing what I'm doing? No, change needs to happen. Some sort
Yeah.
of change.
I couldn't
Like-
agree more.
I have bad ADHD, very bad. But
can
whenever
tell.
I focus on something that's good, I do so great at it. And the bad thing about it is I put everything else aside.
Right.
How am I going to change that? Am I going to set more reminders to do this and that? Am I going to have somebody hold me accountable?
Right.
Like,
You have to find something, and whatever works.
create a plan.
Whatever. Yeah, but you're completely right, man.
The battle
I,
plan's big.
Yeah, you can't just if you have cancer, if you're dealing with stuff like that, man, you can't just sit there and not change anything
Yeah.
and then expect that you're gonna wake up one day and not have it. You know what I mean? If you have mental health issues, if you have anxiety, if you have schizophrenia, if you have bipolar disorder, if you have any of these crazy ones,
Yeah, if you don't have the iPhone, you're going to continue just being frustrated at everybody else that does have
No.
one and not
Yeah,
get
exactly.
excited when your
exactly.
friend gets it.
It's like,
that's
man,
messed up.
I am broke, and then you don't apply for jobs. and then you just expect to wake up one day like, hey, we want you to work. Like, what? Like, no, man. Like, and
Yep.
and if you're doing what you can, then keep doing it. Right? That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is if you're not doing what you can, then that's why. That's why you're not seeing a positive result.
Yeah, successful people do what others don't occasionally. And for me, it's putting myself in a situation where I'm going to get in the ice bath. I'm going to do it daily because I know that hot shower's coming where I got these scripture verses in the shower and I read those and I meditate, and that's my time with God.
Yeah.
We need to do the pond.
Like,
telling
the
you.
pond is going to come. It's got to. And here's a couple resources I want to throw out there is the Full Focus Planner. That's a great resource. And guess what? It does cost money. But if that's something that's going to help you, we'd be more than willing to help get
reach
you
out,
access to it.
We'll figure it out.
Full Focus Planner. Look it up. Man, I think people need to start on this younger. Figure out what your wins are and figure out what you're going to do to get it done. If you got a project, if you have a big game coming up, how are you keeping your body healthy? How are you taking the steps to get the project done? Stop procrastinating. Stop being that kid that everyone looks at of going like, oh, you know you're not going to do the work. Prove those teachers wrong. You know, get the work done. Do it with excellence. God will honor that. And if you're faithful, I'm not saying He's going to give you what you want. I'm saying He's going to you work for Him. You serve Him, and you do it well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is worthwhile, and it blesses the generation after you. Some of us are just thinking what we need, and it's about us. No, but there's generations. I love that worship song. The generations and your kids and your kids. Come on, do something today that's going to affect your grandkids and their grandkids.
Right.
Do something today
Break the cycle.
that sets the tone and breaks the cycle. And Full Focus Planner can do that for you. And so that's my thoughts on that today, to binge the gap. What are you binging? Any last thoughts, guys?
Great session, guys.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, episode 2 is awesome. Can't wait for episode 3.
Episode 3.
The lineups is going to be phenomenal. The guests are going to be phenomenal. You're going to want to keep plugging into this, guys. But this is Zeke. This is Graham. And, man, we got amazing hosts that are going through life like you. So let's keep talking. Keep plugging in. Let's go.